Good morning. My name is Dinouk Colombage. I'm a member of the United National Party Working Committee and the organizer for Akuressa. In 7 days' time, the public of Sri Lanka will go to the polls to elect our next president. The option that lies before us is a simple one. We either continue down the path we're on, which has seen Sri Lanka emerge from the crisis 2 years ago and ensure stability in the country, or we go down an experimental path that will be led by inexperienced individuals who have built a campaign based on empty promises. Both Anurukumar Dissanayake and Sajid Premadasa have gone around the country making empty promises to the public in the hope that they can sway votes their way. Just yesterday, Anurukumar Dissanayake has promised that he's going to halt the rice imports, only allowing the tourism sector to import rice. The last time such a import ban was imposed was by President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. That resulted in food shortages around the country. We saw what happened last time and we're going to see it again this time. Anurukumar Dissanayaka's financial proposals are extremely unrealistic and unsustainable. According to their manifesto, which has been studied by economic experts, the expenditure of an NPP government will reach 8.9 trillion rupees in 2025. Due to their tax cuts, their revenue of the government will drop down to 4.9 trillion rupees, which leaves them in a deficit of 4 trillion rupees. Anurukumar Dissanayake and his economic team need to explain where they plan to raise these finances from. He and his team are also at odds over what economic policy they plan on following. We are glad to see, and the President himself has also welcomed Anurukumar Disanayake's pledge to pursue an export-oriented economy. However, his economic advisor Sunil Handunetti took a case against the economic transformation bill which was presented by the president earlier this year in the Supreme Court, challenging the constitutionality of an export-oriented economy. So on one hand, we have Anurukumar Dissanayake saying he's going to pursue an export-oriented economy. On the other hand, we have Sunil Handunetti saying that they oppose export-oriented economies. Who's going to prevail in this sort of situation? These are the concerns that we have about the NPP government. On the other hand, we have Sajid Premadasa, who has recognized that he himself is not an attractive option for the public. And so he's now decided to hide behind the idea of a team. This team is not what we really see. Back in 2020 and onwards, the Samagi Jana Balawege presented a team which was made up of Dr. Harsha De Silva, Iran Wickramaratne and Kabir Hashim. However, since 2022, when the arrival of Nalaka Godaheva and GL Pires in the SJB camp, we have seen Premadasa change his team on a daily basis. The idea of a team is not going to be able to sustain the Premadasa presidency. Two manifestos were presented to the public. One was taken up to be presented to the Mahanayakas. On that occasion, Sajid Premadasa presented them with Nalaka Godaheva and GL Pires. On the other hand, a Blueprint 3.0 was presented to the public by Kabir Hashim, Iran Wickramaratne and Dr. Harsha De Silva. Our question is, whose policies are they going to follow? We have seen the Samagi Jana Balawege and Sajid Premadasa present ideas of tax cuts and unsustainable spending. Those suggest that the Vietmaga architects are behind it. If Sajid Premadasa is unable to decide on his policies during an election campaign, how is he going to decide on what his policies will be during a cabinet meeting? Will it be Nalaka Godaheva, whose the financial policies will be pursued, or will it be Dr. Harsha De Silva? Sajid Premadasa's presentation of a team clearly states that he does not have a clear idea of how he plans to govern. The president, on the other hand, has presented a manifesto which is very simply a continuation of the work that he has undertaken in the past 2 years. We are not reinventing the wheel. When the president took over in 2022, his first step was to ensure the economic recovery, which he did. He has now moved into stabilizing the situation, which has also taken place. And now we are on the path of growth. Just yesterday, the news came out that Sri Lanka has recorded a 4.5% economic growth, 4.5% GDP growth for the second quarter of this year. That's 4 consecutive quarters of GDP growth. Previously, we had 6 consecutive quarters of negative growth. So we are on the right path. The president's policies are clearly paying dividends. Agriculture modernization, export-oriented development, and even legislation are all parts of the President's manifesto which have already taken place. As far as agriculture modernization goes, over 300,000 acres of land has been set aside by the government, underutilized state land, which will be handed over to companies who will invest in export-oriented crops. The Urumaya program that the President has initiated will see over 2 million rural families given freehold title deeds. This will ensure financial stability and and a continuation in the agriculture sector for these families. They will also be provided with the necessary training and resources. As for the legislation, we hear the opposition candidates talk about anti-corruption measures they're going to take. Anukumar Dissanayake keeps claiming that he has files. These are useless files without the proper legislation and procedures in place. The president has gone about and already enacted these. Just yesterday, under his anti-corruption agenda, Recovery of Stolen Assets Bill was gazetted. This is just one of several measures the president has taken, which will ensure that a proper framework is in place, which will be devoid of political interference, where we can combat the corruption. This weekend is a long weekend. It's a 4-day weekend. 2 years ago, when the Aragalaya was taking place and people in the Aragalaya were calling for elections, the public could not imagine traveling around the country due to the fuel crisis and the food shortages. Today, just a week out from the election, the entire city and all around the country, citizens of Sri Lanka are traveling on long holidays. This was unimaginable 2 years ago. But today, because of the stability that's in the country, the public is content and happy to travel the country. That alone is a clear indication that they do not want this change. We need to ask this question of the Samagi Jana Balawege. You all had the opposition leader. However, for those who are claiming that they want to change, they have not turned to Sajid Premadasa, but they have turned to Anukumar Dissanayake. This alone shows you that Sajid Premadasa is not considered the alternative to President Ranil Wickremesinghe. As I've already highlighted, the president has ensured stability in the country and the public has recognized that. This long weekend and the large number of domestic tourists traveling the country is indication of that. So for the Samagi Jana Balawege, and we ask all our UNP voters who went with the Samagi Jana Balawege to return to the United National Party. For you all, the choice is very clear. Continue down the path that we are and ensure the stability, or risk it all with an untested, untried leader. In 2022, Sajid Premadasa did not run away from the responsibilities that were handed to him, not once but twice. He first turned down President Gotabaya Rajapaksa's invitation to take over the government, but then also at the parliamentary election to vote in the president of the country, he first put his name forward and then withdrew it and extended support to Dala Salah Peruma. Sajid Premadasa did that because he recognized he could not win that election. Here also we have seen the Samagi Jana Balawege has halted their ground campaign. We don't see a door-to-door campaign happening. We don't see pocket meetings happening. They have instead tried to hoodwink the voters by carrying busloads of people around the country to rallies in an attempt to try and show us that there is public support with them. Do not fall for that and do not waste your vote on Sajid Premadasa. Any vote for Sajid Premadasa is a vote for Anukumar Dissanayake. We know that you all want to continue down this path. We know you all are enjoying the stability and you all have confidence in the president's program. Let that confidence show on September 21st when you vote for us. The president stood up in 2022 when all others refused to do so, and he faced the head-on crisis, head-on. Today also he's ready to do the same, and we are asking for your confidence. Thank you.